because time is
Oh.
not linear. Everything is already here. So if you shift the future, you can shift the past at the same time. And then, you know, that sometimes that time kind of emerge. Is that a correct word to describe? I don't know. But sometimes it's come together, and then the modern, like currently living people see the people from the past in the same room. And they're like, whoa, you know, have you ever heard of the people who went into the different time zone? Like,
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
they're like, what? You know, like, for example, two ladies, they're going through the park, yeah, one of the park.
Mm-hmm.
And they noticed that people are wearing very old clothes, you know, like 1800 or stuff like that. And they're like, oh, maybe they're shooting a movie or something. You know, they're like, they
Yes.
really think it that way because they all look different, you know. And then
Yeah.
they realized they were in the wrong time. They
I've heard
eventually
that.
came back. So they talk about this story. Or
Yeah.
we jump into the different reality. A lady, I know that lady said she once, yeah, woke up. She woke up. And what happened is she noticed few things are different. And then she was like, oh, it's funny, but it's okay. You know, like maybe, you know, I was drunk last night and then I probably changed something. And then she went to the work and then she went to her desk and someone was sitting there. And then she's like, what are you doing? This is my desk. And this lady was like, no, you were working in a different department. And then she thought that was a bad joke. You know, like she thought, okay, someone changed my position or something overnight. And then she went to that department and then she found her desk. And then she was like, oh, what is this? Today is so funny, you know, like everything is different. But anyway, this is a story I heard. It's not like personally I heard
Yeah, yeah.
from that lady, okay? But I
Mm-hmm.
know this story, and the lady visited her boyfriend's house, which was not far from her house, knock on the door, and then there was a family came out to say, hi, how can I help you? But that's not boyfriend's family. So they're completely different people living in a house. And then so she
Mm.
said, am I at the wrong place? You know, this is like, you know, for example, 53 something road. They say, yeah, you're at the right number, but how can I help you? How we can help you? And she said, have you ever heard a name of this guy, for example, Daniel? They're no, no. Are you sure he's been living here for several years? And they're like, ooh, this woman is cuckoo, you know, like, ooh, we don't think so, goodbye, you know? And she's like,
Mm.
wow, what's happening? And then she went home and then she was depressed, but she thought something is weird happening here. So she did the research and then she found out there were so many people having a different experience like her. I went into the time zone like this once in my life in the past. So I know that it's real. You just
Mm-hmm.
shift into the different parallel world or in a different reality, and you just sometimes don't notice, but
A,
eventually you notice because something is different.
a timeline. Timeline.
Timeline, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Timeline or this just reality is completely different. The
Now,
story is shifted.
did she shift back into her normal one, or did she have to stay
No,
in that?
this lady didn't.
Mm. I've heard that before. I've heard that after NDEs as well. Interesting. Okay. Do you know anybody who can shift into it purposely? Shift into
No,
another timeline?
but I've heard the story in Japan that there was a guy who not intentionally shifting all the time, but he went into several times in a different places without knowing. Then how he noticed it, you know, he's in a different place, is because they speak the different languages.
Ah,
But the
ah.
language not we are speaking here on this planet. It's
Mm.
completely different. When he goes to the convenience store he normally goes to, it's there, but all this written is completely different language, and he couldn't understand what the shop assistant was talking to him.
Mm.
So yeah, there's time travelers, and then like uh, reality shifters. They exist. We call it quantum jumping as well. And for example, the Bashar talk about quantum jumping, like that every single moment we jump into the different realities. So
Mm.
when you change yourself, you committed to change yourself, you are not the same person, literally this different person now. And then
Mm.
going into the different reality, I can kind of like tell you that is real, that is true, because my reality, when I shifted my mindset, completely shifted. Really, like it's one day, for example, when I was having a bit of difficult time with my husband, and then I said to her, I said to the universe, I want to really solve this issue because I saw the patterns, you know, and then I really want to solve this issue. Next day, very next day, that everything shows me that reality shifted. But when I say it, it's coming from my heart. It's not like, okay, show me what's changed. Like I really desperately I said to the universe, please show me what I can do. Then they just show me completely. And that day he comes home. We were not talking that time. We were having a very difficult time. But anyway, and then he came home, he opened the door, he looked at me and he said, I'm so sorry, honey. I love you very much. It was not me. I was talking to you not nice, and then like I was telling you I don't love you anymore. That is not true. Da 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 da. All shifted
Mm.
overnight. And I know when you really decide to shift something, that moment it's already shifted. But do you believe or not? Do you really go into that reality, or you going back to that reality before?
Mm. So it's kind of like the shifting, because I mean, as you said, there's other people who clearly have had issues with their spouse, and they might have felt like, oh, I just want things to get better. They're telling their friends and their, co-workers and all that kind of stuff, and nothing changed. Everything stayed the same. Is it because of that focus, intent, and the emotion behind it? What do you
And
think
then
that's what?
also maybe this lady trying to change him, or the outer world of herself. When
Mm.
we focus on inner self, inner energy frequency shifted, and that vibration shift everything around us. So I give you one just short example. A lady who was about to divorce. So that husband, wants to take everything out of her. So he doesn't want to sign on a paper. And then she was paying a lot of money for the lawyers, and then she was just sick of it. And then she talked to her friends, and then her friend said, oh, maybe you should try QHHD, or regression therapy. And then she was like, okay, whatever I can do, because like
Mm.
I'm desperate. Okay. So she came to have a session, and then she explained about the condition, what's happening now in life situations. And I said, okay, believe or not, when you're trying to change yourself, things shift. I cannot guarantee you, but something will shift. So just don't worry. And then she was like, okay. And then she had a session and she went home. Anyway, about 3 months later, her friend turned up and she said, do you remember this lady that for example, I call her Suzanne, okay? Do you remember Suzanne? She came like 3 months ago. I said, yeah, I remember her. What happened? Oh, she's my friend. And then you know what happened after the session? Say no. Her husband just turned up, signed on a paper without saying anything, and disappeared. Gone.
Wow.
So she is so happy. And then
Yes,
I was like,
yes.
oh, good. But this is just one example. I'm not saying everyone can experience this. Maybe
Mm.
that was a time her contract with that soul in husband's body that
Yeah.
doesn't need to continue anymore.
Yeah.
Like I don't know, whenever we are ready, we are given that thing we want. So
Yeah.
normally we are giving what we need, right? And then
Mm.
when we are ready to receive something we really wanted to have, that we will be given when we are ready. So when I talk to people, people say, oh, but I've been waiting for that for 3 years. I said, but the universe clearly saying to you, you're not ready. Why? How do you know that? Because you don't have it. this is
Is
so
that easy?
simple. And then you want to, yeah, I want to meet the ideal man, like Mr.
Mm.
Right. You don't have it. Why? Because you're not ready. I am
Mm.
ready. You can understand it's what she's saying. I'm
Yeah.
so ready. I am just thinking of it. I say, but
Mm.
the universe is telling you you're not ready because you don't see him yet in front of you now, right? So
Yeah.
this is it. So you need to just focus on your life from your heart energy, heart energy, which is frequencies, and then what you feel here, you follow. You don't have to think about, oh, this guy must be coming, I'm waiting. No, you just enjoy your day. And then you're smiling at the coffee shop. And then because you're not thinking about it, and then you're smiling, beautiful smile you have. And the guy at the cafe, maybe he sees you. And then he's like, oh, she's very attractive. You open the door, but you're closing the door because you're thinking, I'm waiting for him. I'm waiting for him. I'm waiting for him. Right? So I said, stop it, because you are very difficult to reach because you look
Mm-hmm.
scary. But when you're enjoying, your energy is sending outward, you know, and
And
then
I,
you attract what you are. So you just focus on that. But the people just go into the trap of the issues and the problems, and they say, because it's happening right now. Is it? It is right now, or you believe
yeah,
it is happening right now? And then
I love
the
that you're saying
mind,
this because you're like you're answering so many questions because you're so right. Because I've been there before, and I probably will be there tomorrow. Where I'm just like, no, it's happening. I don't care what you say. Like this is happening, and that's why I'm acting like this, and da da da. But like you said, when the instead of smiling and going to the coffee shop and just like letting things go and just going with the flow of life,
yeah,
and just sex talking about, oh, I need him, I need to have this, blah, blah, blah. That whole energy right there, even when you said it, it just felt so dark and it got dense.
yeah,
As opposed
yeah,
to, and that means that you're only going to attract dark and dense. You're not going to get anything
yeah.
good out of
It's
that.
it's become attachment, you know. You
Yeah.
attach to that thought, and then more you think of, I don't have a boyfriend, I don't have this man, and then I want to have this man. And every time you say that, universe is listening because universe is you, right? And then they're listening to you and understanding you do not have a boyfriend. You want a boyfriend. That's the reality coming back again to you. That's
Mm,
why a lot of like spiritual teachers saying you become what you want to have, or you want to be already. You don't wait.
mm,
Even you pretend, you just be that or have that
yes.
and pretend, why? Because that creation is access to the time that we call future.
Mm,
You have it. So now in that future, you think that's a future, but anyway, it's merge and then you receive. So when I want to manifest something, I do not say, please give me, I don't have this. For example, I give you one example. I have a lawnmower from America. It's a big one, you can ride on it. And when I moved to this house, we had a little tiny lawnmower. It takes like
mm,
almost two days to cut all this. We have a 2 acres. This is rented house, as I said, but the 2 acres we need to take care of, and that was so hard work, right? So I said to my husband, we need upgrade the lawnmower because
mm,
it's so much time we're wasting. It's fun, but it's still, like we spending 2 days to just cut the grass, and then how many times a year? Maybe every two weeks we need to do. So we need to do something about it. And then he said, yeah. And then next day he brought the brochure of lawnmower, big one,
okay, for sure.
and
Yeah.
brochure, yeah, like it's like
Mm,
a pamphlet, like a
mm.
booklet. And then I look at it, and then the price was like $8,000 US dollars or 10,000 US dollars, and I was like, let's leave it. Like save it and just sleep, and then let's see what's gonna happen. You know what's happened? Next day, I was going to drop off the cardboard because we just moved to the new house. So, we unpacked and then we have so many boxes. So we recycle to other person that they need. So I was going there. So we dropped off all these boxes, and then I saw a guy. I knew him, but anyway, I said to him, I don't have a Wi-Fi, no internet at home. So please, can I stay here for half an hour, just use internet? He said, yeah, no problem. And then he said, by the way, do you want a lawnmower? He said, I said, what kind of lawnmower? Oh, my friend has a lawnmower and he doesn't need it. By the way, it's broken a little bit, but I can fix it. Do you want it? I said, yeah, okay, let's go there today. Just now, let's go there.
Yeah.
And then there was a pecan nuts farm that I knew these farmers, and they are a lovely couple, old couple, and they had lawnmower, 10 years old, but they have a bigger one and they don't need it, and it's little tiny things broken, so he doesn't want to fix it. So he said, okay, take it. I said, when I can take it? No, today, now. If you want, we have a trolley. You can put it there, put it on a trolley. We can pull it and then, send it to your house. So that morning, I was thinking that, the night before, we want to manifest that lawnmower. Next morning, that lawnmower was at the front of the house. And then I took a picture and then sent it to my husband and said, look what I've got. And then he was like, seriously? Like lawnmower? Where it's come from? What's happened? Say, the universe knows what's the best for me. It's not brand new, but it's being fixed and it's working very, very nicely. And
Yeah.
so I no longer say please or want. I say thank you, because I trust the flow of the universe. They know
Mm.
everything. It's not like I follow everything, like I don't care about my life. No, I know that they give me the best guidance, the best, how to say, stories of my life. So when I need to take action, I'll do take action. And then I
Mm.
appreciate. But I don't think so much. Sounds like I'm an
Yeah.
idiot or, stupid person, but I
No,
don't think.
no, no.
I was thinking a lot before. But now, more I think, is like I'm trapped into the hamster wheel. I'm just running, running,
Yeah.
running at the same place and thinking, thinking, thinking. And then I thought I run 1 kilometers, but I am at the right, I'm at the same spot. You know, when
Yeah,
I
yeah,
get
yeah.
off the wheel, the hamster is in the cage, same spot. This is the mind trap. So I get out of the cage and I just go with the journey. Sometimes
Mm.
scary, but it is the same as you set up the address on the GPS. When you are setting up the address on the GPS, you trust it. You can trust the GPS. You cannot trust the God, right? Because the GPS tells you 300 meters, you turn left, and go there is a roundabout. You get off on the second one. You follow
Mm.
it. You don't say why. I want to go on the right or left. You don't say. You
Mm.
just follow. You take action, and then you get to the destination. You
Yeah.
believe or have a faith within the GPS. You can have the faith with the divine. You know, it is the
I
things.
love
It's very
that.
simple.
Yes, I love that. And it's like, as you're saying this, I'm thinking that, because again, it's just this one being that separated itself so that it can have all these experiences. So when you think about it that way, you think of the universe as me. Like I'm trusting in
Mhm.
myself when I trust in the
Yep.
universe. And I know that
Yeah.
because I know that I need that lawnmower, the universe knows I need that lawnmower, and it's going to make sure I get it the way that I need to get it.
Yeah.
It's, I love that. I love that whole idea.
Most of the things in my house is coming. It's they came in that way. When I think of it, and the universe pick up the people, all those things, and then boom, come to the house.
And then overthinking, like I was when you talked about that, I started thinking, okay, we are creators, right? We manifest whether we know it or not. And if you're overthinking, then you are making things that could be so much more simpler much more difficult because you're like, I got to do this step, I have to do this step after that step, and then do this step, and then you could just literally just go out and then see a guy who says that he has a lawnmower.
Yeah, it
You
is.
know?
It is fun. It is fun to make a plan. Like the people are Capricorn in astrology, for example. I am Aquarius in the sun, and then the
Mhm.
moon Capricorn. So very difficult condition that I want to be free, but I want to make a plan, right?
Yeah.
So when you're born into certain astrological chart, or the star sign, star symbols, then they have a characters like that. They like making planning, thinking, like when you are Pisces, for example, you think a lot because you're water element, and then you want to think, right? And so there are characters that we chosen. This is our choice as well. When you are born, exactly that date, time, and place, the
Mhm.
alignment of the stars we
Yeah.
choose, so we can enjoy that plan we made, right? So it is fun. This is just a game. So I know it is real when you have pain. It is real when you suffer relationship, because someone is screaming at you, someone punch you, someone hurt you. Of course, this is so real, but this is the kind of like part of the plan that you
Mm.
created. And then you don't have to understand right there, because eventually you understand. And that's what I go through. So I understand now that I'm a happy person. Like people think I have no problem whatsoever. And I said, no, I don't. I deleted that word, problem, from my
Mm.
dictionary. It's an
Yeah.
issue I can deal with. And I enjoy, because the villain is a divine, so be it. She's not saying
Mhm.
the divine equal villain, okay? She just
Mhm.
explaining to us the fun part of this game. It's like they give us spices. In the food, you don't have a salt or spice, like it tasteless. So that taste we need, that we put it together. So when you think only third dimensional way and
Mhm.
only think of this lifetime, and only trying to think with the logical mind, a lot of things are not fair, right?
Mm.
2 years old, he's in the hospital and almost dying with leukemia. How can you explain that? Is this fair? Or, the people who are not having the food right now, or place to sleep, or, having a very difficult family life, or uh, people are in the war. What's
Mm.
happening? It's not fair if you only think that or see that. But what I realized is my job in this lifetime, or whatever I can do, I do, and illuminate the
Mm.
positive energy, higher frequencies to the world, giving a prayer, ceremonies, and then if I have a savings, for example, I don't have a saving because I donate, because I want to help people. So I donate to the places that I know they're doing the right things, and
Mm.
then I help because that's how I feel like this is what I need to do. And if you focus on that, everything will be fine. Do not overthink. Do not think that you have a very, 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 very special purpose you need to figure out. When you're thinking
Just
about that, you can't figure it out.
play
Maybe
the
this is a
game.
process. Yeah, but this is maybe the process you need to let go, you know,
Mm.
of the attachment. Maybe this is the lesson. That's why you cannot figure out, because your lesson is letting go of that attachment and then just let it be.
Yes.
So yeah, it's fun.
Yeah. No, but at least two. It's at least two that I have.
Yeah, sure, no
Because
problem.
when you were telling your story from the beginning, I would have sworn, I mean, everything about you just screamed starseed, like as if this was your first Earth experience. But you said that in that dream with Baba that you saw all these lives. Were they human lives? Were they Earth lives that you saw?
Yeah, I think
Really?
they are, because I don't remember. But the thing
Okay.
is, I have a connection with the Octoria mother.
Okay.
So I try to have readings by those people who says that they can detect which star beings that you are, stuff like this. And yeah, of course, I'm living on the planet Earth, so we are like human being here on this
Yeah.
planet, this lifetime, but each souls go through different paths and connecting to the different energies. So they have a different purpose in a sense. And for example, Syrian energies, they are healers, for example. And then a lot of people from Syrian energies, they are kind of like connected to the sound healings. My friends, a lot of my friends are doing the sound healing with the singing bowls, and they are connected to the color of blue and stuff like this. And so I was wondering which one.
Yeah.
And then there are two people coming from different countries. They don't know each other. And then I didn't tell them anything. They said the same thing. Like I've already gone through all of them. And then I was working with the light because one of the guy who was working with the Zeta, like ET
Oh
gravings. But
yeah.
anyway,
Yes. Yeah.
yeah. And he was saying where he was when he was connecting to my energy, he was in the light. It's like celestial. So the sound and then sound and lights and music and then all that. Anyway, so he said you already, gone through and you're in that with that connection. And the other lady said you are already gone through all of them, but you have a very strong connection with Octorians and Andromedans. And then also you work with the sound and the light, you see. So they're saying that almost the same things. And I had a regression therapy from or by Mary Rothwell, the alien lady. She is wonderful. And she's one of the UFO researcher in like well-known researcher in the world, and she knows a lot of things. Anyway, so I just had a session with her, and then when I was in that state that I was half here and half there, I started to see my Octorian mother, and she was showing me the form, but she said I don't have a form, but to show you this so that you can talk to me like easily. So she showed me a tall blue being, beautiful dress, one piece dress, and blue, beautiful, golden a little bit, and big eyes. And then I started to cry really badly. I was crying, and I said, I miss you. And then she explained to me a few things. One of the things she told me was she wants to give me a symbol so that I can use for my work. So I use that. I don't know if I have it here, but yeah, I don't have
Is
it
it the
here. But
triangle?
it's a triangle and then
I saw
infinite
that.
symbol. Yeah. So she gave me that, and then she explained to me what's the meaning behind it, and then she said use it. And then also she said I am always there for you because in a sense, like she's using me to help humanity because it is interesting when we are talking about that there is a big monitor lizard is climbing on the wall. reptilian. Anyway, so it's amazing. Huge one is just climbing on the
Really?
wall right now. Anyway, so the yeah, she said Octorians is not only one. There are several different type of beings that some of them don't have a form. They have a form, but it's not like third dimensional, but it looks like it. But density is different. And then she said, I don't have a form, and I cannot interfere into your dimensions directly. That's why I'm giving you a job. Then you help me, and I'm always there for you, so don't worry, or stuff like that. But anyway, I cried a lot. And then I straight away I knew she was my mother from the Octorian life. And does she exist still? in that form, I don't know, but I connected to her energy in a session. That was wonderful. So, and then I feel connected when people talk about Octorians, and then I am very sensitive with the energy. So like I heal my body with the sound.
Hmm.
And a couple of years ago on my birthday, the sound started to come out from my my voice, and that it healed me actually. So it was interesting. So yeah, like yeah,
Yeah.
different path we go through. So I lived in a different lifetimes as a human beings, and then because I remember I was an Italian boy playing football in the Firenze, and then I remember that I was in a Mayan pyramid area living with others, and then I was killed on the way I was climbing up the stairs. That's why I was scared of the heights and stairs in this lifetime. So I remember some of them,
Hmm.
but I lived here, there, all over probably. So
Hmm.
I cannot remember everything, but like I remember some of the stories from different lifetimes, and they are all real. They're all
Yeah.
real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, and then I'll close with this last question. Well, I feel like it's something that we should talk about, so I'm going to close with this last question, and just kind of first say the reason why I'm asking the question, I guess. But I love the part where you were told by, I guess maybe your guide. I don't know if you would call it your guide to find the DVD of Friends, right? So for starters, I love that because I want to mention it is that we as creators and artists and stuff like that, we create things that eventually could save somebody's life or improve
Mm,
somebody's life. And if you're an artist out there, I want you to just always remember that. Like you might think that why, like I'm not getting any money for this, or why am I going through all this? But there are so many stories, and even I have stories of where a song has saved my life, or stopped me from doing something. So I want you to keep remembering that we are each other, we are one,
hmm.
and we are a lot of times creating so that we are helping somebody at some point, even if it's one person. It doesn't have to be thousands,
Yeah.
one person.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
so I love that. And then it also told you the reason to watch that was it would make you laugh. So you can
Hmm.
literally heal yourself from laughter. Laughter is such a high vibration that it can help to heal you. So I wanted to make sure that people was very clear about that and why we should, really respect comedians. Like they really are kind of like earth angels when they're trying to promote positive comedy. Um, and so with all that said, because it's two different things in your story. So you have that positive being that is telling you and showing you how these positive emotions can heal and help you and switch you to that positive frame. And then you have the lower frequency. Because here's the thing, I always feel bad because it's one thing if you're just bad and you're doing bad things and you're hurting people and you're cursing and stuff like that. But to me, it's kind of sad that sadness and depression are also low frequencies because it opens. I feel like in your story, and you can tell me if you think you agree, because you were so sad and you were so abandoned to some extent, all of that sadness and depression opened a portal where you had that instance of the dark energy trying to
Hmm.
take over, like trying to use you, for its bidding and stuff. And so um, if you could just speak to that, like I don't even have a question, but just speak to that so people understand that these lower frequencies attract dark spirits and can open up portals, and the positive
Hmm.
frequencies can heal and help you to ascend. If you can just,
Yeah. Um, the laughing part, it's connected to my story when I was about 5 that I was talking to the stars. Do you remember that I was saying like I was talking to the stars every night? And I didn't remember them, but when I had a regression therapy, when I came to Australia, I had a session and I started to remember what was happening every night. And I was out just being in the dark with the stars, and then there is a big rice field behind my house. So I was just standing between rice field and my house. And what happened next was the oval, like this, beautiful orange UFO came from this side, from my side, like this side. And then it was getting bigger and bigger, and boop, I was on it. And they, I don't remember the faces, but it's more like gray type of like a little beans. and several of them. I don't count, so I don't know how many, but I knew there are not only one or two, a bit more, and they are making me laugh. And that was so funny. I don't know what they were talking about, how they are doing it, but they're so funny. So I was laughing, and this practitioner giving me session asked me, what's happening? Why are you laughing so much? And I said, they are so funny. And that why they're making you laugh? And then they explained that they heard the call, that SOS, help from my soul. So they came. They are not my like star family or stuff like this, but they just heard the help, like SOS
Mm.
from this little girl. And so they came to make me laugh. So that they
Mm.
said, this girl doesn't have enough energy to live on this planet because she's suffering, and she is like closing up the energy, that we want to expand her energy. It wants to help her. So we want to make her laugh. So laughing is very important aspect of my life, that I like making jokes, and then not in English so much, but I like making people laugh in Japanese,
Mm.
because that humor breaks that blocks, like all this hard density around us, and then
Mm.
open up easily. So I want to laugh more. And then when I finish giving a session, each session I have a 5 to 10 minutes, I watch comedy show.
Mhm.
Between two
Mhm.
sessions, sometimes it's hard to bring up my energy back because
Yeah, yeah.
sometimes the life story you listen to is so heavy.
Yeah.
You're like, how can I survive? So
Mm.
so I become a bit tired, and then like watch the comedy show for 5 to 10 minutes, lifting me up. So
Mhm.
yeah, the energy of laughing from the heart, from my gut, not just laughing from here,
Yeah.
will adjust the energy and bring energy balance back to neutral. So it's like it is very important, that technique that we can use for healing ourselves.
Mm.
And the darkness that I was communicating, it's because both time I was I was child, and then 2008, what was happening was I was closing up myself. I was focusing on the negativities, and my thought was so dark that I was calling them. And
Mm.
people say, how people, I have a possessive energy, or I am possessed, like, so those spirits, or those beings are not good. They come and then attach on me. And I said, they cannot just do that. You must be
Mhm.
calling too. Or even it's not intentional, but your energy is lower than usual, then they can find you. So
Mm.
when I was in a deep dark spot, they could see me. Because when you are having better energy, you are bright. You're brighter and brighter. They cannot see you. But when you are lower the energy, that you can be appeared, to them, that,
Yeah.
oh, there is one that we can grab,
It's like you're
it's easy to
entering their
find.
dimension. It's like you're
Yeah, we
entering
are,
their dimension.
yeah,
Yeah.
calling each other.
Wow.
It's not one side story, calling each other.
Yeah.
But sometimes it's easy to work with them because they give your, how to say, make your dream come true.
Yeah, but that's not good in the
But
long
that's
run.
that's that's another story. So
Yeah.
but I was a child. I didn't understand good or bad, or whatever, but I felt like that was not right, because
Mm.
I didn't like the energy of that being. And I felt like, no, I shouldn't be with this being, because I'm not that. Something is different, because the beings helping me in general, their energy is expand. That's how I can describe it. It's like
Mm.
lighter expansion of energy. And then I
Mm.
feel trust. And then they never make me feel yucky. or icky, or this fear or something. They just talk to me, and then I make a decision, but they tells me something like I feel good about it. But that being talked to me was really dark. So
Now,
I knew
here's a
that they are recruiting me in a sense.
yeah, and
you know.
here's the question, because I've heard this too. It is a pattern. I feel like with the dark side, they kind of want you to do their bidding, and they like, I have a job for you. I want you to do this. And with the positive side, sometimes they do want you to maybe help, but it's always like it's your decision. You have free will. You don't have to do this. I feel like that's always a pattern with the two.
Yeah.
Um,
Even though I made a decision to work with them, that was not the wrong decision anyway. It was
mm,
just a decision I made, and then eventually I come back to this path. It was just a pathway, and then but I could have different stories. That's all.
mhm,
So
yeah,
there's no good or bad. There's always good given by the God. That's why they still the same. God,
mm,
right? So that's what
yeah,
Baba was explaining. Like God only give good, but your perception is making the differences. So
mm,
only we think about God when we are suffering. When you are very happy, sometimes, oh, thank God. But most likely when you're thinking about divine or God or these beings is when you are in trouble. Help me, and then
mm,
something didn't work out as you wished, and then you blame on them sometimes. Like, why? Like,
mhm,
I'm a good person, I prayed, like, why is that? But everything is a creation of yours, and they only give us the experiences. We are here to experience. When it was you couldn't process or going through the processes. That's why they created this dimension to come from here to there, like this, right?
mm,
Or like this, I don't know, like that. In this different reality or dimensions, it's here. You think something, you have answer. You want to go there, you're there. It's boring,
mm,
right? You want to
yeah,
know the process, how it works. That's why we're here. That's why we are creating this time or measuring the time, distance, and the process, and then emotional states, and then materials, conditions, restrictions. It sounds terrible, but we want to have that, really.
yeah.
Because
Awesome,
other world,
awesome.
they know everything.
Yes. So this is our difficult vacation. We come here for something different that's difficult.
Difficult if you take it, because up and down, yeah. But
Mm,
sometimes for example, for me, the climbing on the hill, how to say, like some people go climbing on the wall.
rock climbing.
Yeah, yeah. I
Yeah.
think it's insane, but some people loves it, right?
I
Like,
love it.
I was like, why this is dangerous, and it is so hard. You have to grab, and then you have to get to the top. It is so
Yeah.
hard, but they want to have that challenge.
Yeah.
Why? Because they can achieve something out of it, right? And then
Yeah.
some, like, as people's interest is different, so that we can have all sorts of different aspects of life. Like, some people like fishing. I think it's boring, and I don't want to kill the fish. But my husband loves it, and he goes on the kayak and then stay there, like 2 hours. And I say, how can you do that 2 hours? And then he said, how can you do session with the clients for 2 hours or something on the internet? I cannot sit there for 2 hours. So
Mm,
we can focus something. Each of us has a different interest, different talent, skills, and gift. We call it gift. And
mm,
that gift is to share. And how can you find that gift? Is just follow your heart, what you like to do. That's it. And then maybe that is not exactly what you need to do. For example, people say, I like taking a pictures. That mean that means she's gonna be a photographer? Maybe not. But when she goes to the shop to find the camera, and then she started to be interested in that shop and then work there, and then she meets someone and she married. You know what I mean?
mm,
So, and
yeah.
then is that a purpose? No, maybe not purpose. Just marry, and then she become a mother. of 3 children, taking care
Yeah.
of them. It could be a very good purpose. And then, so each person has a different gift. Like she is good at taking care of children. Maybe she become a childcare assistant. I don't know. But
Mm.
they just need to follow what you are interested. And then you find the path, because that's come with the synchronicities. I always call it key to open the door. So when the synchronicity comes, is a beginning. At the beginning is the feeling coming from your heart. And then you
Mm.
open the door and the next things happened. And next thing happened. And you like get to the last point and you're like, that connects to that. And then connected to that. And then I get that.
Mm.
I get there, So yeah, we don't have to think so much, but thinking blocks sometimes because it have to be logical. But the mind wants to know the answer now to make you feel secure, right? You need to
Yes.
feel safe. So you need to have an answer now. Then I tell people, tell your mind, I don't have it right now. That means I am not ready. The best things coming, like Trump. The best things is not yet come or something. I don't know. The best thing is not there yet because it's coming. You expect. Then you just live life, follow your heart. Then the mind comes time to time, that's fine. But just not too much dwell in it, or trapped into it. Because mind always give you this time of, it's not waste of your time. Some people say, oh, I wasted so many years just thinking. And I say, no, that was a process. You needed to
Yeah.
think. So when you get out of the mind, not thinking so much, you feel relaxed. You feel appreciated. That process, you needed it. Nothing
Mm.
is wasted. For the universe, everything is great. Even it, I'll tell you just one thing. I was in with the avatar, Amma,
Mm.
and then there was a lady, the possessed lady came when we were serving lunch. So every day we are serving lunch for hundreds of people free. So we need to cook and then we need to serve. And then people at lunchtime, we just ring the bell and then people just come from nowhere, like it just appears.
Mm.
And then, we serve food. And then one day I saw this lady was possessed 100%. She was behaving completely weirdly and like animal. And then Amma is smiling like this, looking. I say, Amma, all other Indian people very angry with her because she is just grabbing everything with the hands and then making mess and then screaming. And I'm like, no problem. It will be gone. No problem. And then she just smiled and then the lady disappeared, just gone because she's got enough food. And then she moved on. Like Amma doesn't have attachment to that incident or who they are, those people. She just
Mm.
knows what's gonna happen. So she just say, she smile, she just chill. Said no problem. Sometimes she does action. I
Mm.
heard some Indian people told me, but um, it's like we do not know the future or what we don't know the result. That's why we attach to the result. But I said to people, do not have attachment to the outcome, because more you have attachment to the outcome, then you are creating your world with your thought. You're trying to
Mm.
control over it, but you are not the controller. The divine is. And
Mm.
so more you want to control, you are probably going on the wrong path. There's no wrong, but like different path. And maybe this one is better, but you're going that way.
Mm.
So I just said, follow your heart, because everything is as it is, perfect, and nothing is wasted. And the divine plan is the best plan you can ever think. The human plan can change every single moment, but
Mm.
divine plan is perfect. But in this divine plan, there's so much things to do, so much things to experience. That's why
Yeah.
the Baba used to call, this is the game. Life is game. Play it. That's it.
I love it. Life is a game. Play it. The end.
Yeah, play it, whatever it is, play it. Don't be too serious. The seriousness is important sometimes, yes,
Mm,
because we are still living in this human form, right? So when
mm,
you are rescuing people, of course, you need to put the energy onto it and then put the effort, stuff like this. But what I'm
mm.
saying is, do not dwell into the mind and think too much to create that negative stories. Instead, create the positive reality, the ideal reality that you want to go to. And then you are pulled into that reality instead of going that way.
Yes, yes. Kai, you're absolutely beautiful. You're amazing and
Thank you.
beautiful and awesome. You are. I just this was everything for me, and I really do feel like your words are going to help a lot of people, whether it was with me or any other podcast, because you have quite a bit of wisdom. So to close this up, if you could just tell people how to contact you, what you're doing now, if you have any kind of thing that you want to promote, and then your take home message.
Okay. The, they can contact, people can contact with me with the website or Instagram. And QHHT Soul Shift is my website, but it will change on my birthday. So it's coming up in 3 weeks. My birthday is the Valentine's Day. And
Really?
my friend, the voice told me I need to change.
Okay.
So I am going to change my website, www.caiatucson.com. So that's my full name.
Mhm.
And so it will change, but they can contact through my website and Instagram. I do have a YouTube channel. I'm not a YouTuber, but I try to share information with the people, whatever I can. And yeah, so I can talk to them via email. And at the moment, it's a bit busy. I'm a bit busy, but if they contact me, I will reply within 48 hours maximum.
Mhm.
So I try my best to respond as soon as possible. There are interesting information of disclosure, and some of the people knows that Rob Gautier, the channelers, and there's some near-death experience stories, and some of them are Japanese, some of them in English.
Mhm.
So yeah, but sometimes like it's annoying that you cannot watch Japanese ones because they are interesting ones, but I didn't have the time to translate, so it's
Okay.
in Japanese. But some of them are in English, so they can
Mhm.
enjoy.
Okay. And your take home message.
The things you are searching for is not in a form. It can be felt, but it cannot be seen. This is
Mm.
the this is the word that people can think about it, go
Yes.
deeper. And
Meditate on it.
your reality is real. And at the same time, it's a Maya, it's an illusion, the divine clay. And so whatever you want to make it up, it's up to you. Because remember, the divine question is, what do you want? Every single moment, they're asking you, what do you want? Follow your heart. And then they always say yes to it. So be careful what you wish for.
I just had extreme deja vu. So something good came like extreme
Oh,
deja
good.
vu. Oh my God.
What is it?
But deja vu, like when you remember something that happened before. So I just had that whole segment
Mhm.
right. Yeah. Oh my God.
Here now.
But
Oh,
yeah, yeah,
good.
yeah. But I love that. I
So,
love that. I love that. The universe is always asking you, what do you want? Yes. What do you want? Yes. What do you
yes.
want? Yes. Beautiful. Oh God, you are
Yeah.
awesome.
That's it.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. And I mean, you're just
No
awesome because
problem.
your energy too. Your energy just helped me just, it's like coffee.